Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for mid-September 2023. I'm going to just do a Celtic cross. I have a little bit of a time crunch this week, but even though I just did Pisces and it was like 23 minutes long, so much for saving time with Celtic crosses, but still, we're just gonna see what is going on for you here at this time. And in your present energy, I'll show you in a minute, but you have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles can represent you holding on to something too tightly, not wanting to let something go. And I do feel clearly there's like a new beginning coming in for you here with this reading, but I kind of feel you need to embrace it with the energy that's coming out so far. We are going to go through and we're going to double up the Celtic cross. We're going to clarify it, basically with another Celtic cross. And sorry, I can't get this right because I'm so used to doing the four rows. But you have the Four of Pentacles here. I also feel you need to believe in yourself. You have the Magician coming up in the position of your next few months. And the Magician, he needs to believe that he can manifest something on earth. I always say one of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, he says when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. And you can see that he has a pentacle here and a pentacle here. One over his head, one over his heart. So, I really feel that believing in yourself at this time, that you can move past something that is probably a conflict, honestly. I mean, in your crossing energy, the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. I kind of look at it as both because to me, tarot is just, loose guidance at best. It's just saying like, oh, there could be some conflicts or competition that are preventing you from moving forward. But tarot isn't meant to just be like, you're screwed. Tarot says, like, what are you going to do about it, right? So with the Five of Wands, number one, we can just choose not to take part in the competition. So we can just choose to focus on co-creation, or we can just work anyway. It's kind of like YouTube, right? It's like people always ask me, the reason I use it as an example is because, other readers and stuff always ask me, like, what do I do? How do I grow? All this other stuff. I'm like, well, just keep doing what you're doing. It takes time to grow, number one. But number two, it's like, it doesn't matter how many people are doing something or how much competition there is. If like something is meant for you, it is for you. So, I would just keep working and keep putting in the practice. You also have two cards of education here. You have the Page of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Again, it's no secret. People, again, I've had a lot of readers over the past couple of years now ask me like how I grew so quickly. I'm like, it's very simple. I just watch one video every single day about YouTube. I still do this. I still have this practice where I watch, someone who is talking about like new news on YouTube or new ideas on how to work on YouTube and all this other stuff, right? I just like watch one new person, or I watch the same people when they put out a video, and whatever they say to do, I try it. Like whatever their advice is, whatever ideas they have, I always put them into practice. I mean, you can all see it on this channel, right? So you can do this for your own life as well. You can learn about whatever area of your life you're trying to improve and just try one new thing a day. It might seem slow, but again, I grew very quickly. I was stuck at 40,000 forever. And forever, right? There were other readers blowing by me that started like a year before that, when I had my channel for like 5 years at that time, right? And that blew by me. And again, I outgrew them now very, very quickly by using this technique. So it's not like I'm saying I'm so great or anything. I always tell people I have to read things like 20 times. So if I can do it, you can do it. That's the whole point. Just in the area of your mind, you want something new. So this is what's on your mind. You have the Page of Pentacles. This could be wanting something new in your life. But the Page of Pentacles is a card of studiousness. He is learning, or he has learned. And so I feel for a lot of you that, again, learning about adventures or things that you want to manifest and just putting one thing into practice every single day will change your life, literally. We go like this, down through the Knight of Wands to the Magician here. And the Magician is all about like having a new beginning, but he has to use his tools. He has to use the right tool for the job as well. And we're definitely going to talk about that in a minute. In the area of your foundation, you have the Four Cups. I kind of feel like saying there's gold where you are right now. Sometimes the Four Cups is a card of thinking the grass is greener on the other side. And it's like sometimes I think people think like, oh, my job isn't working out really well, so I'm going to go get another one. They get another one, they're disappointed. Same thing with love. It's like you might think that, finding another person is better, but maybe, again, unless you're in an abusive situation, obviously leave if you are. But if you're in something that's like kind of positive, but maybe it's lost a spark, the Four Cups says, well, maybe it's better to work on it. And, not telling anyone to, someone always gets super offended when I say this, and I always ban that person. That's why you never see them, right? But, cause again, I'm reading for like a billion people here, so give me a break. But, what I would say is that, it's like better to work on what you have. Like, can you get the spark? And if you can't, obviously, if you try to work on it and the other person isn't working on it, trying to work on it, then leave. But again, sometimes I think there's gold right where we are. We just have to kind of put a little bit of work into it. Again, they always say, grass is greener where you water it. And, I really get that energy here where in your reading, just in general. I don't even think it's about love, by the way. I think this is more about like some sort of competition, something that you're working on, something you want in life, right? And I feel if you just water the grass where you are going to be successful. In the energy of what you are moving past, you are clearly moving past something. The Chariot is your card, Cancer. This puts you in a position of power and strength, but he's leaving that city behind him. And who the hell knows where he's going? He doesn't even know. He's just like trusting the universe is going to guide him in the right direction. He represents as above, so below. He's got these stars here, these moons here. So he is just in alignment, and he's trusting that those two sphinxes right there that represent the universe, he's just trusting that they're going to lead him in the right direction. But he's moving past something. He's letting where he's come from. He's leaving that city behind so he can set himself apart. And so I feel you are clearly in this, you're kind of like in a time where you are trying to set yourself apart, or you're trying to have a new beginning, especially with that Magician, which we're definitely going to talk about in just a minute. The Magician is like, I feel he's talking about your tools, but I also feel he could be talking about you reinventing yourself, kind of like being new in some way. Next, in the very near future, you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very adventurous, spontaneous. I have a feeling a lot of people are probably going to get the Knight of Wands today because, I don't know, we're like in a time of the Knight of Wands. He's very spontaneous. And, I do believe we are in a time of spontaneous opportunity where, there could just be something that kind of comes out of nowhere that you want to double down on, like a project, a business, an idea, something just like having those epiphany moments where you think like, oh, I know, I'm going to try this new thing in my life or this new idea. And if you follow those moments, you'll be very successful. So I would definitely kind of, listen to your inner voice, listen to that inner guidance with the Knight of Wands energy. You have the Magician, probably the most important card here. This is the energy of the next few months. And the Magician, he has a snake wrapped around his waist here, which represents the Ouroboros, and it represents reinvention. He also has these 4 suits here, the cups, the pentacles, swords, and the wands in front of him. And he has to like use the right tool for the job. And that's kind of like what I'm getting with the 5 Wands, is that wherever you're trying to stand out in life, or wherever, if you're trying to overcome competition, again, I wouldn't even look at it as a competition. I say it all the time, we're entering into a time of co-creation. If you co-create, you will be very successful. If you don't, then you won't. So I just wouldn't even, compare yourself to competition. I wouldn't even take part in competition. Of course, there's different types of competition. Some people enter competitions for fun, and that's like a totally different thing, right? I'm talking about, if you feel like you're comparing yourself, or if you feel like you have to conquer a bunch of people on YouTube or something like that, I would look at it as more co-creative. Or how can you just be more creative with the Magician? He is just creative, and he uses his energy to manifest something on earth. And I feel he's encouraging you to do that. It's like some sort of new beginning. Next, in your closest relationships, you have the 6 of Cups. Really nice. 6 of Cups is, this part of the reading, the closest relationships, it represents all your relationships. So, I really feel like things could be going very well for you in your closest relationships. I do also feel there could be a new person coming in for you with that Page of Pentacles. It could be an earth sign. It could be any sign, general reading, but I feel that there is a person who could be coming in for you. Feels like a soulmate to me. And again, it also feels like a person who really wants to like put in the work. So like I said, I feel like you have a good one on your hands here. The funny thing is that the 6 of Cups also to me represents, kind of overcoming an obstacle. The reason is that the 6 of Cups can be a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive is overcoming an obstacle. So, I feel like some of you could be like overcoming something. And like I said, but it feels like reworking something. That's why I was talking about like educating yourself, learning a new way to do things or a different way to do things, speaking up, like using your voice as well. I feel is going to be very important. Like, again, if you're in a relationship that isn't as good as you want and you're like not sure what to do in that situation, I would just put it out there, speak up. Again, I think we're so afraid, and again, I'm not criticizing anyone here. I've done this, like, you know what I mean? I've not spoke my mind. I've not spoken up and I regret it, right? So no regrets. I think people need to speak up more, and it's something that I'm working on in my life as well. So just so you don't enter into those situations, but you're just delaying the inevitable. So it's like you might as well speak about something, especially in relationships, and be like, things aren't working out, or things aren't going as well as I want them to. How can we work on this? And if they want to work on it, great. Then you found yourself a real one, right? Especially if you find someone who wants to work on it. There's nothing more you need to look for. If they don't, then obviously it's time to leave, right? So that's what I would be doing here with the Six of Cups. But also in like work and business, all things, I feel there's things you can do to overcome, challenges. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Queen of Swords. Very clear. It's like you're very clear on your path and your journey. I feel like good about this for the most part, but I also feel you could be being a little bit too cautious. So, for whatever reason, this is not what she represents, but it's like she's saying to me in your reading that you could be taking bigger risks. So don't be afraid, especially I'm getting in work or business. It's like she sees very clearly, but for whatever reason, it's if I put myself in your shoes, it's like I see you not wanting to make the wrong decisions like on whatever you're doing, but I feel like she is saying like, no, you actually see very clearly. So don't be afraid to, take bigger risks in work or business or whatever. Finally, for your outcome, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yes, I would balance your energy. Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. I pretty much feel this for everyone that, I think we're in a time where people could be, kind of just focusing too much on work. And so I would make sure that you're taking time to enjoy yourself. Again, I always say, like, whenever my work starts to suffer, it's because I'm not walking. It's because I'm not going out in nature, doing things I love to do, right? So, it's like when I don't do those things, my life suffers. and when I do, then I'm always like, oh, I haven't been, out in nature in a while, or I haven't done something for myself in a while. So, I feel like you need to make sure you're kind of creating that balance, right? But let's see. We're going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify. With the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, you have this inspiration card. We're in a time of inspiration, Knight of Wands. That's why the Knight of Wands comes up so much. Inspiration is not easy because you could feel inspired to do something that is not considered, acceptable by society or whatever, and your job is to do it anyway. So, if you feel inspired to leave your job and start a business, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I would start the business first. I think one thing I will say is I do not think we're in a time where you should take risks with money, especially if you have bills to pay and things like that, right? I would, keep the job, work on your business on the side until it gets to the same level as your job, and then quit, right? Don't just up and quit. Don't be irresponsible. But what I would say is if you feel inspired to start something, I would start it, and, just realize that, it will become successful. Knight of Wands moves towards his inspiration. I say it all the time. Really, he moves towards his desire, and I believe the universe is really trying to get people to, move towards their desires. With the Page of Pentacles, you have this publicity card. This could be like good news coming in for you. So, for those of you in work or business, you could be getting a lot of attention. I always say that I believe we're in a time of attention. I encourage people to get as much attention as they possibly can. We're talking about positive attention here. We're not talking about, creating negative attention. We'll see plenty of that in the world. We already have, right? There are people that do crazy stuff on like TikTok and get arrested. So don't do that, right? But obviously, if you can do things to get positive attention, good things, then I would do that. If there's opportunities for you to stand out in work or business, do it, because it will lead to a result. Same thing with love. If you want love, you have to get attention. So, I would say get out there. There's clearly, I kind of feel like some of you have a person already who wants to give you attention. With the Four of Cups, you have this excitement card. Love it. I feel you are going to be very excited by new ideas. Also, like I said, maybe you just need to try some new ideas in like a relationship. I don't know. Someone needs to hear that. It's like maybe you are in a relationship, you love the person, but it's getting a little stale or whatever. And I feel like this is saying, well, you can go learn about, new ways to enjoy the relationship, or you can go have new experiences with this person. And I feel like that will add a new level of excitement to the situation. Again, I think the problem is people get into relationships, especially nowadays, and they just they're just passing in the night. They just become roommates. And, I personally have a no roommates rule. So, I'd say if it's getting boring, then maybe you need to go have more experiences or do something exciting with the person, learn new things about the person, whatever the case may be. I would do it for sure. With the Chariot, you have the Charity card. That's funny, right? I kind of feel like the universe is guiding you. I feel like the universe wants to bless you. Look at those angels like blessing this lady with her children there. And I really feel the universe wants to bless you. But I feel like the universe is encouraging you to leave the past in the past and go set yourself apart. You know, the Chariot is all about kind of, again, he's setting himself apart. He's being unique. He can't be, you know, everything is the same in the city that he's from. So he's like looking for his own city. He's looking to create his own life. And, you know, I feel that a lot of you are kind of trying to do that. With the Knight of Wands here, you have this risk card. Yes, it is definitely a risk. I mean, you know, like I've said, to follow your desires is super risky, you know, because especially right now, you know, I always make the joke about like worm farms, like maybe you want to start a worm farm, but, you know, seriously, it's like they're probably your inspirations might be guiding you to start something that is like unconventional or unique or different. And I kind of feel like that is your key to success. This card, it also has like these 3 pentacles right here. It almost looks like the 3 of Pentacles, right? These 3 pentacles there. And I kind of feel that for a lot of you, there could be a lot of benefits in working together with other people. You know, the Knight of Wands, he doesn't have to do everything alone. He can, you know, he can have a person who helps him. And look at this guy at the top. He's got like a bear behind him because there's no one there to help him. So, you know, I feel for some of you, you know, kind of like working together with other people or getting ideas from other people would be a great idea. With the Magician, you have the Appreciation card. What I will say about the Magician is that he has these flowers in front of him here. And it kind of represents the fact that he knows that to manifest something into his life, he has to focus on joy, abundance, happiness. You know, he has to focus on good things, not bad things. And I kind of feel appreciation is one of the best ways to manifest something in your life. When you appreciate it, you get more of it, right? You are staying in the energy. I always tell the story too. Like, I used to be the type of person, I'd have a victory in my life, I just rush right past it, right? Wouldn't even enjoy it. Now I make sure to even celebrate like small wins, little tiny things. I make sure to show my appreciation, to be grateful for it. And again, I mean, you know, I can't prove it. I don't think you can prove the law of attraction necessarily, but you know, I do feel that I'm much more successful now because of it, you know, because I celebrate the small things, because I really take the time to appreciate it and enjoy it and, you know, all that other good stuff. So I would make sure you're doing that. I would make sure that you're celebrating, you know, all of the wins that you are having. With the Six of Cups here, you have this affair card. There is definitely love coming in for you. This is like a good affair. This is not like a cheating affair. This card is meant to represent like a positive relationship coming in for you. This person, I kind of feel like it could be a Leo. You have a lot of Leo showing up here in these cards. You know, it could be I think they, you know, you have the moon in Leo, you have Jupiter in Leo, you have this Venus in Leo, you have Saturn and Aries as well. So I would say it could be a fiery person is what I'm getting. They might have like fire in their chart. I'm not so sure that it's a fire sign that's coming in for you here. I don't see any sun signs though. So, you know, it could be another Cancer for some of you I'm getting, but whatever, it doesn't matter. What I would say is that, you know, they could be a very fiery person. It is popping to mind that they're like bold, assertive. I feel like this person really goes for what they want. So, you know, it's that type of person. You know, the other interesting thing is like there's this mirror here. It looks like a mirror. I'll show you right there. I feel, but for whatever reason, like there's no reflection in that mirror of those two people, right? And it's almost like I feel that you could be attracting a person that's kind of like undercover. Like I feel that I feel all their exes have made the mistake of not seeing who they really are, you know? And so again, I would pay attention because this person, I don't think they hide things or anything. I think they just don't brag, you know, I feel, but they might be, you know, very successful or whatever. And it's like, maybe you don't see it at first until you get to know them, like just how powerful this person is. And I get that. This could also be you, you know, it could be people who always sleep on you and don't see what they have until it's like too late. But you could be finding a person who does. Again, I see really good love stuff here. With the Queen of Swords, you have this decision card. Pretty freaking simple. I feel like you need to trust your vision with the Queen of Swords. It's like you will see the truth, especially if you're making a choice. I do feel that some of you could be trying to make a choice right now. And I feel like you already know the answer. I would just go for it. I would do it because, you know, I feel like you will be very successful if you just take the risk. With the Two of Pentacles here, are you kidding? You have this romance card. This card always reminds me of the Two of Cups. You can see that these two people look very different. the whole point of the Two of Cups is that the two people are meant to look very different. They come from two totally different worlds. So you could be attracting a person from a different world, from a different location. Maybe they're just a different person, like a different type of person. And so if you want love, again, if you have love, you could be remaking it more romantic. Like I said earlier, I don't know, that's for somebody. Somebody's doing that. You could be, keeping the romance alive in a connection. And I definitely feel that for someone out there. But again, if you want love, I also feel there could be love coming in. I feel like you have your eye on a person already. I would just go for it, is what I'd say to you, Cancer. Who cares? Let's see what is going on for you. I'm pulling 5 main themes. You have this card that says, keep your life in balance. We said this with the Two of Pentacles. I felt it with the Two of Pentacles as well, that I feel you need to kind of make sure that you're balancing things out, that you are, paying attention in life and, not just doing one thing. I would keep things in balance. You have this Shield card that says you need to defend yourself. I would just put up boundaries. 5 of Wands, 5 of Wands could say that you need to defend yourself, but I kind of get more of the feeling that there are people who don't agree with your life choices. But again, as I always say, unless you're willing to trade places with that person, I wouldn't take their advice, plain and simple. You have this February card and this Vulture. Could be attracting a Pisces, but you have this card that says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. I feel like a lot of people feel like this right now. I don't know, there's something weird in the astrology. I was blaming the Mars retrograde that we had, more at the beginning of the year, but I don't know. I would just get out of your head. I don't think anyone's against you. You have this chair filled. It says someone new is entering into your life. Yes, definitely. If you want new love, I definitely feel that there is new love coming in for you. You have this older woman. It says dealing with your relationships with an older woman. You have the Star card. It says guaranteed success. I kind of feel like you are a guaranteed success, especially, star, publicity, if you're getting attention, or if you're doing something that requires attention, like starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, podcast, writing a book. And, all those things are popping into my head. So, I feel if you're doing any of that, there's a lot of attention and success coming in for you there. You have this Purse card that says pay attention to your finances. I actually feel like your finances are fine. But I do feel, I say it to everyone, we are definitely in a time where you're going to want to keep an eye on your finances. It's like, I don't care if you have $1 billion in the bank account, I would be paying attention. I would be, kind of making sure that you're not losing money and all that other good stuff. But this is a very good reading, Cancer. I love where it's going. So thank you for being here. A lot of stuff to be excited about with the exciting card. But again, I feel like there's gold right where you are. So you could be doubling down on something as well. But anyway, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.